Hey there, everybody. Good to be here with you. I'm taping this on Wednesday morning, pre Thanksgiving. And whether or not you celebrate the holiday in the traditional way, I wish you the absolute best. I hope, at the very least, just have some good food, good laughter, good times with friends or family. Just absolutely wishing you peace, even for those who may spend it alone, wishing you peace and comfort and calm and whatever brings you joy, right? All right, I want to start out on that tone. I thank you so very much for being here with me on the channel. If you're just landing here, I'm a FAFO with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. Clearly, I'm a tarot reader, also a former newspaper journalist, and I am an initiated priestess in Wiccan and African traditions. So I try to use all of my experience to offer some good content here on the channel. Looking at what's happening, mostly politically, and then we go to spirit and get some deeper insights about it. Many of you have been reaching out to me around a very, very crucial election that's coming up on December 2nd in Tennessee, right? Special election for a House seat. I'm wondering, and we feel this momentum building. Surprise, surprise. Like, is spirit really going to do us this solid and perhaps flip the House prior to the midterms? Right? Because we have Marjorie Taylor Greene, getting her pension and got her little piggy bank together and said, okay, I'm going to exit stage left, which none of us, I certainly don't believe it. The spirit guides are telling me that's not true. She's not going to walk away from politics in general, but we'll look more at her later on. For the time being, though, that opens up a seat. We're also hearing that now, there are other very disgruntled people in the House, GOP members of the House, who are thinking about doing the same. Well, shoot, when is my pension coming full? Like, maybe, is it even worth it for me to do this anymore? So if that happens, and we know the margins are already really slim with the Republican majority in the House. If that happens, da 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 da. And now we've got this very interesting race between, what's her name? Afton Bain. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Afton Bain, Democratic candidate running against Matt Van Epps. Now, here's what's interesting about that. We know that this Tennessee and this particular district, the 7th congressional district in Tennessee, extremely red, like reddest of the red, right? Sleepy Dawn, I'll call them that. I've been calling them kinks, but I respect when you all give me feedback. Some people who suffer with the condition of kinkles have been saying, hey, FFA, that's not really cool. Makes us feel some kind of way. I hear you. I respect it. So we'll call him Sleepy Dawn. I can't imagine any objections to that. I get it. So Sleepy Dawn won that district in Tennessee, 7th district, by 22 points, we're being told. So there are a lot of the political pundits out there saying, no how, no way, don't care what they did. Kamala Harris was just there campaigning last week. Dems have been pouring extreme money and resources, boots on the ground in that area. Want to take a look at that race and see if, in fact, Bain stands a good chance, because we're hearing the 22 points or no by Sleepy Dawn winning that district. We're hearing that Matt Van Epps is not holding the line on that, and the it's showing some shrinkage. Interestingly, early voters, we're told, are leaning in favor of Bain, the Democratic candidate, up to almost 60%, right? So that's an interesting statistic as well. If the polls, we know how them polls are, but we need them anyway, and they help at least give us some sort of insight into what's happening. Spirit. The special election in December 2nd, 7th Congressional District in Tennessee. Will the Democratic candidate, Afton Bain, will she win? Will she win that seat? Will Afton Bain win that seat? Will she win over her Republican opponent? Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, y'all. And if you're with me, if you're new to the channel, aces very often in tarot, if you're asking a yes-no question, aces can very often represent a yes. Ace right at the bottom of the deck. Looking good for her. Will Afton Bain win? Will she pull it out? Will the voters in that district, Knight of Cups, and notice we just got that Ace of Cups, more cups, emotions, the way people are feeling, momentum with that Knight energy, momentum in her favor. Today is the 25th, 26th. So what is it, next, a little more than a week left to really mobilize. And we've got Temperance. That's a card of moderation. It's a card of opposing forces coming together to resolve something. So in this case, because we're looking at the voting and the political race, so this is Dems, Republicans. This feels like, you know what? This feels like quite a number of Republican voters won't vote. They've been sort of, they don't want to flip the tables and go the other way and actually cast a vote for Bain, but they also are not liking what they're seeing from this administration. Affordability, of course, being the key word now for all campaigns. And Tennessee is certainly dealing with that. And we've got the the Eight of Wands here, you all. A card of swift movement toward a resolution. I'm feeling toward her. More people moving more towards Bain, basically. So will she emerge victorious, Spirit? Are we going to see that 7th congressional district in Tennessee? Is that going to be go Democratic? We got death. Shoot. No, I don't like it. But that could also mean transformation. Always hopeful, right? Always the optimist. That's my Sagittarius rising. Cap sun, but Sagittarius rising. But we have the Empress. Hold on. See? Thank you, Spirit. We got the Empress that came behind it. So this could be an ending of the old regime, the fact that this district has always been reliably super, super red. And here comes the Empress. You all, I'm getting some good vibes around this. Can't make promises. We know how things happen energetically, and a lot of this I'm being reminded, and it's practical. It's not just psychic. It's practical. A lot of this is going to come down to how many voters turn out, and how many choose to sit out this election, because they're especially Republican voters in Tennessee who are completely disenchanted with Sleepy Don and their party. So they may do, Spirit is saying they may do exactly what, unfortunately, a lot of Democrats did in the presidential election. That 90 million, we're told, eligible voters who did not vote. Yeah, there may be some of that, but may work out to our favor. All right, now I'm going to ask the second part of that then. Assuming that Bain wins, are we going to see the House flip before the midterms, right? Do we not even have to wait a whole year to have something like that happen, right? Oh my gosh. Woo, let me get my energy together, because and I'm being perfectly honest with you, readers can be tilted. Our energy can feed into the cards. So you have to really discipline yourself to see what you see and not see what you want to see. All right? All right, that's it. Let's see what we see. Spirit. Get grounded. Will the House switch to Democratic control before the midterm elections in 2026? Will the House flip to Democratic control, either because there will be more Congress people who retire early? Will power shift in the House sooner than the November 2026 elections? We have the 9 of Swords, but I'm not going to ignore it. Look what came back right behind that at the bottom of the deck, and you saw me shuffle. Here's the Ace of Cups again. They're certainly worried about that. That's how I take that. We're going to go deeper, but they are certainly worried about that. This regime, this administration, is extremely worried about that. And I'm getting, also because swords are communication, I'm getting that they've identified, they know which representatives in the House, Republican representatives in the House, are looking at what Marjorie Taylor Greene did and are like, maybe that's kind of looking like the way I want to go. That 9 of Swords feels like they're being talked to. There's some phone calls being made like, please don't do this right now. Hold on for us. Take one for the team. But here comes justice, you all. That's the scales, the balance in the scales being tilted. So will Spirit, are you showing me that the House will indeed, the scales are going to tilt in the favor of the Dems in the House before the midterm elections? The Fool. New Uranus. Disruption. A whole, didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming, didn't know. You all, it's looking good. I mean, for real, it's looking good. And we have death again coming up. Change, ending, transformation, rebirth. And notice, I have pulled 4 cards. For those of, I know I get a lot of readers here on the channel, so you know we pay close attention when we start getting those majors start popping, because major arcana indicates energy that truly shifts something, like important energy. I sometimes say it's like spirit with its trumpet saying, listen up, listen up, listen up, y'all. So because the energy is powerful, it's more heavy, it's not mundane, it's not like this is changing, shifting. And we are looking, we got the fool, the justice, we got the fool, and now we just pulled death. All cards that indicate a shift in power, right? With that justice card, a shift in the scales, a shift in the balance of power with something entirely new with that fool, and death, the ending of one way and a renewal, a rebirth. And there's the Empress again. You know, we have said, I as a reader and many on the platform have said repeatedly, and we've seen it, astrologers have seen it. There is a very, very powerful feminine energy that's coming into our politics, you all. Yes, we have the Jasmine Crockett's of the world, and we've got the AOCs of the world, and we have the Kamala Harris's of the world, and we've got the 2 women who have won and now have, you know, the governor's races in Jersey and Virginia. Like there's all of this momentum around what really takes care of people, really taking care of people and letting people be at the forefront of how government is run. And we've got the 9 of Cups, you all, a card of wish fulfillment. This is a flowing energy. This is the people, you know, of the United States feeling like this is what we wanted, this is what we needed. Oh my gosh. Now, timing, I can't give you that, right? I wish we'll look more at it. We'll stay on top of it. I'm not going to make any predictions today about the timing of that, but I am going to say unequivocally that energetically, keep our eyes. If Bain wins that Tennessee race on December 2nd, boom, snap, crackle, and pop, you all. It's done. It's done. Like the house is gonna go. And I also think it, by her winning, that will be something that pushes those GOP Congress people in the House who are thinking about doing like Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's going to push them over the edge because they see the writing on the wall, like, you know, in neon. Right now, they already see the writing on the wall, but now then it's like neon, you know, boop, 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 boop on the wall. All right. Last thing I want to look at really quick. Interesting. We know that Patel is in trouble. Been saying it for a while. Blondi is in trouble. Been saying it for a while. But interestingly, Democracy Forward has now hired one of the attorneys that was let go because he filed a whistleblower complaint earlier this year. What's his name? I may say it wrong. Erez, E-R-E-Z, Revenet. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. Anyway, he was let go because he was one of the people in the DOJ earlier this year who filed this whistleblower complaint when Emile Beauvais, remember him? Emile Beauvais the third, I think he is, said, ignore the court orders around deportations. This was around the time, going back, you all, when all of those immigrants got deported to that horrible facility in El Salvador, right? Remember that? And so there was all that uproar where apparently this Ruvene, was one of the attorneys with the DOJ at that time. Ooh, the tower just flipped out. I'm not going to ignore it. Like a big blow up, a big blow back. He was one of the attorneys who said, because he had been with the DOJ for 15 years. And he said, I'm not going along with this. I'm not, what do you mean disobey court orders? What are you talking about, right? And then so he was cut out. He was axed. Okay, Democracy Forward has hired him, and they are preparing. We have heard around immigration, around a lot of the illegal moves for entertainment purposes only, around a lot of this illegality that's being committed, that there is going to be legal blowback. And over time, we know how the justice system works, takes time, but that a lot of these people are going to be called to account, up to and including Blanche, Todd Blanche, and Pamela Bondi. Here's what I'm asking. Are we going to see increasingly, because part of Revene's value to Democracy Forward, he was inside, you all. He knows the playbook. He knows the moves. He knows the players. He knows he has valuable information. And now he's going to be working as an attorney with these lawsuits that are being filed against this administration. You see what I'm saying? So it's one thing to just know how the law works, but it's another thing when you were in the organization and you know exactly what they did and what was said. All right? Are we going to see increasingly other lawyers, former lawyers with the DOJ, involved? We have the Three of Swords. They are regretting their decisions already around how they treated some of these people. Blondi and Todd Blanche, etc. They're regretting that. And they will come to rue the day. Three of Swords. They will come to rue the day that they've done this. And the Four of Pentacles, because they feel stuck. They're literally they're between a rock and a hard place. They have gone so far down the rabbit hole of pledging their allegiance to their fearless leader that they can't get out. But also, this is evidence against them. You notice, look how he's holding on. Like he's sitting there, feet on coins, holding on like there's no way out. It's boxed in. Fours, boxed in. You can't deny what you did. The evidence is there. Will we see more, Spirit, I'm asking, will we see more lawyers who were inside, who have been fired? Will we see more of them join organizations and participate in these lawsuits? The Nine of Wands. I do. Because the Nine of Wands, while it can be a sort of, it doesn't tickle you, but it is a card of persistence. It is a card of a heavy burden and a heavy weight, but it's a signal from Spirit. Keep pushing. You're almost there. I feel like that's momentum. And so what's going to happen, and also nines are numbers of completion, and we got back-to-back nines here, and the Nine of Cups, because a lot of these lawyers in the DOJ who have been let go unceremoniously, unjustifiably, we've seen the stories. A lot of them are ready to say, you know what, I'm ready to do my part. What do you need from me? So watch out for that. That DOJ is going to crumble like they're just showing me the cookie crumbles. They're showing me like just crunching up some cookies, and it's all they're coming down. All right. Tish James in the wake of Comey and Tish James's case is being dismissed. Now we understand Tish James is leading a cadre of lawyers, 20 different states, who are filing lawsuits or are ready to prepare lawsuits against the administration around housing, if I'm not mistaken. Remembering as well that that part of what was his name, Pulte, that now is in deep dirt because he was the one who was saying, with these mortgage loans, trying to find ways to prosecute them, Schiff, which that ain't going nowhere, Adam Schiff and Tish James, over, supposedly things being done nefariously with their mortgage loans, whatever. So now Tish James is saying, not only am I going to join these 20 states that are filing a lawsuit around housing, but I'm going to head it up. I will be one of the top ones. Hold on, you all. That's my air conditioner coming on. Let me turn it off real quick because you're going to hear it. I should have turned it up. All right, bear with me. It'll take a second to click back off. Sorry about that extra noise. And I'm about to wrap up anyway. Spirit, is that going to gain some steam? This lawsuit these lawsuits or lawsuit, this collaboration that Tish James is helping to head up the tower. I don't even have to go a lot further than that, you all, right? This Pulte person is coming down, and the HUD, Housing and Urban Development, the policies, whoever has participated in this, they will, and it's cutting off at the knees, and the world, completion, thank you, Spirit. Two major arcana, the world, the tower, and now the world comes. You all, here's the deal. Their plans to continue down that road, to find anything to try and go after, Sleepy Don's purported enemies around this mortgage situation. Look at their housing, look at every piece of real estate they have, and see if you can pick something apart. It's done. It's done. It's over. And Tish James, like his worst nightmare. That woman is so guarded and protected. And now that this case has been dismissed, which we knew that was going to happen, there was no there there. There was no there there. So now, but when Tish James comes, there's some there there. And she's going to make sure that she's got her there covered. All right. So here for it. Let's see what happens. All right, you all. I'm going to get off of here. Again, I wish you the absolute best for your holiday season. Love yourself. Love those who love you back. Let's remember to be grateful for wherever our blessings lie. And sometimes if we just take a moment and take stock, we realize that we're okay. Even the blessing of having internet and having, platforms and having a means to communicate. That's a blessing, right? At least that's how I'm looking at it. I really appreciate you all. Remember, chin up, shoulders back, and remember to breathe. We got this. There is some really interesting momentum happening right now. All right. And we're here for it. I'll talk to you again soon. Probably check in with you on Friday. Be good. Bye.